Alrighty, everybody, welcome in. Grounded 2, getting back at it. We are going to progress the mission further. We got to go up and investigate Sloane's coordinates and see if we can get our game on.
We got new armor and new weapons. We got the mosquito sword. So now it's time to do some questing.
I want to know why your ant can sometimes jump so much further than mine. Whoa, 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 easy, server. Easy. Oh, nope, nope, nope. Server doesn't like it.
We have to go in here.
Yeah, I don't even have any torches on me. Oh, I can make some.
Why did I volunteer to come do the quest with you?
Drink some water, because we are going to have to fight this big scorpion in here.
Do we?
Yeah, it's an orc one. Yeah. I wish we could send our pets in to just attack.
I mean, there's definitely a way to do it. I can start shooting it with a bow, and our ants can go in first.
I don't know if our ants will go in if you shoot it with a bow. Oh, got real close. Here he comes. Oh, Paul's going after him. I'm getting out the hammer. Careful. He's burrowing. Get back. Get back. Block.
Can't see nothing.
I'm poisoned. Oh, too easy. Too easy with the right weapons. I understand it was a little while. We were doing some other stuff. That's how I like to play, though. I like to build bases and do all that stuff, so sometimes it'll take us a little bit longer to progress than the pros. But we're playing as much for fun as anything else. What do we got here? A disc and some paperwork. Uh-oh, firewall. Here we go. Okay, so we're gonna have to... Oh, we got some stuff back here to break. Have to watch out, because they're gonna be sending stuff to attack us. If it's as tough as the scorpion we just killed, we should be alright.
Oh, and I just want to put it out there. If anybody's played Grounded 1 and they came on and do Grounded 2 with a group, your milk molars are not combined. You have to spend your own.
Yes, like if you go into your inventory tab, you can go down to the tooth over here on the right, milk molars, and then but anybody who picks them up, like I picked them up, so she gets credit for picking them up. So she'll have 2 available or more. I have 2. And when I spend this, previously on Grounded 1, when I would spend my points, it would work for both of us. Now, whenever you spend your points on here, I'll spend it on these different things. She will not get credit. She has to go on by herself and pick which ones she wants to do. So mine, I went into max health twice. I'm probably going to go into healing here, just because that helps compensate for the more health that I have. I like to kind of go with a more tanky build whenever I play games. More survivability, because I suck, and it gives me more chances to survive. Oh my goodness. One of the things that sucks, though, they do have to fix, is being able to equip and unequip torches while you're on your ant. So you can pull it out of your inventory and then put it back in, because that's why I just had to jump off my ant. So one of the things too, as I commented before, I don't like looking stuff up on wikis or anything like that. And one of the other things that kind of sucks is I also don't watch normal television. Essentially, the way I like Game of Thrones or something. Like it took me years after Game of Thrones ended to even watch Game of Thrones. Like I don't watch normal media. I generally just watch YouTube stuff, and most of the channels I watch are gaming related. And there's a couple that I watch on a regular basis, and I haven't been able to watch a lot of their episodes because I don't want to see what's coming, which sucks. So I'm not able to watch that. And I had to stop the other day when we decided we were doing Grounded 2, but I had already watched some early release footage from one of the one of the YouTube channels that I like, and unfortunately, I know some of the stuff that's going to happen, but after this, I don't know. Yeah, so when we build 2 spike strips, after that, we're going to get attacked. I know that from watching another channel. Alright, we got a bunch of stuff and we have a ton of points, so I'm going to buy a lot. We can smithing stations, spike strips we need for the quest, acorn turret, however you want to go with that. We need one of those. Clover roofs, still unnecessary. Pebblet foundations, not going to use it yet. Nice looking house stuff. Nah. Brat burst. That's cool. Well, in the last one, in Grounded 1, all you had to do was find an ant egg and then take it to the machine and you can learn how to use it and make a brat bomb. But now you can just do it this way. But it looks like you need the spicy pieces to even be able to make it, which really sucks because you have to have a level 2 item to be able to farm that stuff to be able to make the bombs. And then something I haven't encountered, and I haven't, like I said, I haven't really been reading or watching anything. If things in the world respawn, like if we go and farm a piece of candy that's sitting over there on the ground, is it going to respawn? Like, how are we going to continue to get spicy? Because having to use spicy stuff, which you can use to upgrade weapons to make bombs, kind of sucks. Getting some good hitching. Why is my shield not going on?
You have to re-equip it once you use your torch. It's stupid.
That is stupid. Yeah, that's very stupid.
Do you want me to put the structures down it?
Yeah, where we got? Yeah, we're gonna start putting them out. Lag. Holy, whoa, that was some, yeah, there's some serious server lag going on there. Good lord.
It's just a small gaming company, let them go.
I know, right? But whenever you're putting them in, you also have to be careful because they might hurt us. Like, I don't know if they're like 7 days to die or arc.
If you're looking at it, there's a circle around it, so I think that's where you get hurt.
No, the blue circle. Yeah, that's just an axis that tells you where it's gonna. Whenever you're looking at it, that blue circle is essentially the center of the item. Let me see if I can't get it above ground to actually. Hold on, come on, to actually get a good look at it here. Someplace flat is basically what I need. Here we go. Here we go. Okay, so I guess that's as good as it's gonna get. But that blue circle is basically where it's gonna rotate around in that circle. So that's like for placement. Yeah, so you want to try and get them as close to the building as you possibly can. And it looks like there's a invisible wall here, and it won't let me put them. Can we hang them on the side? But then they're kind of like spikes are down, and I don't know if bugs would get hurt by that. Right? Do you think? You would think.
I have mine kind of pushed out, like with that first step.
But you look, the spikes are down, so you would think if they walked into it, they would still get injured, right?
I don't.
And then they wouldn't be on the ground, because if they're on the ground, like I said, if we run into them...
You would think a multi-billion-dollar company would release a game without lag.
Well, it's actually, the worst part about that is, like, the lag we're experiencing stuff isn't even uh, it's not even like game related. That's literally just the servers that we're experiencing these problems with. Once we play it for a while, the server starts getting hokey. Because like I said before, if I play this game on solo, I could play it for, same thing with her, on her computer. We can play the game itself for fucking 30 days on nonstop, or just leave the game run in the background and just not turn it off for days at a time and not experience the things that we've been experiencing. Like if you watched the end of the last episode when we were logging off, all the grass leaves were blinking in and out and blinking in and out. That wasn't a graphics issue. That was actually a server issue. The server registering the grass was there on my screen compared to hers. So it's actually starting, and I see it a lot, and one of the things that I see it a lot on is like after I cut a piece of grass down, like if I were to cut this piece of grass down and then come back to it when it regrows, when that regrows for me, it will continuously constantly blink. So there's something going on there with server communication, because the server's on her end and she doesn't see that stuff when it's happening on my screen. Our desks are touching and I can look over at her computer and her computer looks completely normal, and on mine it's blinking in and out like we were at a rave concert or something, and it just gets crazy. What we have to do is, this is gonna suck.
Yeah, we don't have enough sap yet to probably complete all
Oh
of
no,
this.
we don't. It takes 1 sap per, so we'll need 15. We'll probably need more of everything, to be honest with you. Let me go make sure that there's rope being crafted in here. You guys are happy because you never have to watch the farming stuff that we do, because it gets cut out. But that's why on other series, like on Ark and stuff like that, we just started an Ark series. I turn like the harvesting stuff up because I'm just going to cut it out anyway. And it literally just kills time during the day for me to have to go out and farm 70 million things to be able to do something as simple as create all of these. And obviously on this game, we can't do that. You can't spawn anything in. You can't do anything to help you along in the way. So we're just going to have to do it. And then it's going to get cut out because, for good reason, you guys don't want to sit there and watch us punch or hack away at a freaking plant with an axe. You don't want to see that. It's not fun for you. You know what I mean? So we cut it out to make it a little bit better for the fans. So that kind of sucks. And that's one of the things about like the builder bee that they have on Grounded 1, which is a little bee, or a gnat. Actually, it's a gnat. And you take control of the gnat, and while you're doing that, he can do stuff for you as you were doing it, but he can fly and go all over the place and do things much, much quicker than you can, which I know they want to slow down progression so that we're not just blowing through everything, but stuff like that is like quality of life. And I mean, come on guys. I'm putting basically everything in but crude rope on all of them, so I'm not going to finish any of them. Then we will go around at the end and just throw rope on each one. We can also look at putting a turret up top, but I think we should be okay fighting these things. I mean, and like I said, I watched it on somebody else's channel and blah, 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 but I swear to God, unfortunately for him and his views, I have not watched the later versions of it after the episode where he did this. I did not watch anything. Oops. Okay, I gotta go get thistle needle. And like I'm always recording whenever we're farming and doing stuff. So if we do get in, there's times when you wouldn't even know it, but there's times when we get into fights with stuff and you guys see the fights in the aftermath and whatnot. But you were unaware that the reason we got into that fight was because we were out farming. So you guys do end up seeing a lot of that stuff if it's interesting. But whenever I'm just cutting down trees and like climbing up flowers like this, I usually cut it out.
One thing I've noticed, like I went into Steam the other day and was just looking at the reviews on Grounded 2 just to see what people were saying about it. just because curiosity. And people have been trying to use Steam to do multiplayer. And we found that out the hard way with Grounded 1, that Steam is not the way to go with trying to do multiplayer on this game.
Yes, like I previously for Grounded 1, it was before we really started playing together and stuff like that. So I had Grounded 1 and I had played it for a while. And then she got into the games and she kind of liked the survival games and DayZ and stuff. And I was like, you know what? I know a game that's pretty fun that we could try. So I recommended that we try this game. So she bought it on Steam. I had it on Steam and we tried to play it together on Steam. But because there's some sort of problem with logging into your Xbox account and then trying to play it on Steam, it just does not work. If you want to play single player, you're okay. But if you ever want to play multiplayer, you either have to buy it from Microsoft or buy it through or use the Microsoft Game Pass, which is what we're doing. Because that's what ended up for Grounded 1. That's how we ended up playing. I still own Grounded 1, but when we played together, we just got the Microsoft Game Pass and both played it on there. And I couldn't even use my old, like I had basically beaten the game on Grounded 1 when she had come along, and we were unable to use that. All my game saves, all that stuff, she couldn't join into my game, so we had to start over from scratch, which I wasn't horribly opposed to because, you know, I liked the game anyway, so I wasn't going to lose sleep over that. But yeah, definitely if you want to play the game with other people, definitely go through Microsoft and Microsoft Live to do it. And as much as they want to say, oh, you know, that's not intentional, it may not have been intentional, but they have intentionally not fixed the problem. They could have resolved that problem and made a way for you to sign in and play with it on Steam and made it cross-platform, but that is still a major problem that exists. They know about it, and it benefits them because rather than you going through Steam to buy the game and Steam taking a cut, they are able to get the entire dose because you have to buy it, or the higher, yeah, dose. Wow. English is my first language, by the way. But they get the entire commission. They don't have to pay anything out to Steam. They get all of the money. So, yeah, not saying they did it intentionally, but I'm saying they're not fixing it intentionally. That's 100%, because there's no reason when you have crossplay, when you have people playing on Xbox and PlayStation on games, there's no reason that if you buy it from Microsoft Game Pass or whatever, you shouldn't be able to play with somebody who has it on Steam. But even two people who bought it on Steam can't play with each other because you can't sign into Xbox Live. She made an Xbox Live account. I've had one for, you know, since the regular Xbox had one. Literally, that's where I started my account with Xbox, was with the original Xbox. And I've had that account forever. So we both had an account, but it wouldn't let us log in and play together on Steam. I could still play the game on Steam, but I couldn't log into Xbox, which means you can't do the multiplayer aspect. So that's something that's, you know, a downside of the game. All games have downsides, and I've said this before. I don't care what game it is. If it's my favorite game by my favorite game company, I'm going to call out bullshit when I see it. Especially in games, like I'm just gonna call it how I see it. That can affect somebody, some people. I don't know what it is. Like when you criticize like game companies, they freak out, and I'm like, dude, like it's a company. You're paying for a service. You should get everything you want, and then you should get more if they want to keep you as a customer. They should be looking to lick your boots. You shouldn't be licking their boots. They should be out here licking your boots, telling you you're the greatest customer and your haircut's fantastic and you look really good in that outfit. That's the way it should be working. Alright, we got to get some sappy. Man, sap. That's one thing I have noticed when we're playing. If you're playing this game, generally, don't pass up sap. Sap is like air in this game. You need sap more than you need anything else. You need it for weapons. You need it for bandages, to cook food, to make building stuff. Like, you need sap for everything. Sap is more important than the grass, than anything else you can possibly encounter in this game. So when you see sap, make sure that you're trying to grab it so that you have plenty of it. Otherwise, you'll have to do what we're doing now and go and farm it. Is there pop in this can?
I don't think so. I think you drank it already.
It respawns. It comes back. That's why I was wondering about the other stuff, about like spicy candy, like the hot tamales and stuff, the spicy candies. Because in Grounded 1, they did not respawn. Like, see, there's pop in this can. And I can scoop it with my canteen. I have water in there. But you can scoop it with your canteen or just drink it. But that will respawn and be back in a couple days. And if you see a juice box every once in a while, it'll drop juice out of it. And that'll happen on a regular basis. But if there was a piece of candy laying on the ground, that candy wouldn't respawn in Grounded 1. So I'm hoping that they have changed that and the candies will respawn where they previously were. Or that there would be some way or some place to have them respawn or something you can do. Because and same thing with the brittle quartz and marble, the little rocks that you break up, because you need that to upgrade gear. And that was one of the things I didn't like, because it means you couldn't like go around and upgrade everything. And whenever I play games like this, like how long it took us to do that mission, because I wanted to go around and collect stuff, I'm like a completionist type of player. Like, I like to maximize what I get out of a game. So it'll take me a while to beat it. I'm usually running behind everybody else. But I find it more enjoyable to maximize that stuff and get the most out of it. Like, you plow through it and you beat the game, but you've only experienced 25% because you just smashed through the story. It doesn't really appeal to me. I can understand why it does. Some people just want to beat the game. They just want to get through it, beat the game, and move on. I'm not like that, especially on games like this where there's so much to explore and so much to do. And I'm hoping, with how many games have failed recently, I'm hoping in a big way that Microsoft and Obsidian, who's a game developer I actually like. There's a lot of games from Obsidian I actually like. They actually make Armored Warfare. They do Armored Warfare, which I actually like. I'm a big fan of that game, so maybe at some point we'll play some of that. But they make some good games that I really like, and I'm hoping with the development, they stay with it on this. And because this has the potential to go through a couple expansions like the last one did and have content for several years, which I'm hoping they do.
By the game plan or roadmap that they released, it's at least 2 years they have plans for.
Yeah, so, and I'm hoping, because I dig it. I like this game.
I got the trinket.
You got the trinket?
For the dandelion tuft?
Did you? The infinite one? Yeah, that's a good find. Congrats. You can pick up more than one, so keep your eye out for it. It's what she's talking about is there's different trinkets you can equip, like this one I have here, that after 3 hits will cause a sizzling blast wave, and it's not that great. It doesn't do a ton of damage, but the one she got is a dandelion tuft, like these, that she can equip and is infinite amount of dandelion, so she no longer has to carry dandelion tufts. And at low levels, whenever the trinkets aren't doing that much, if you don't have like a really good trinket, that's like an awesome trinket to never have to worry about dandelion tufts and not worrying about falling to your death. Gotta get that silk done. Gotta get it done so we can do the zip lines next year. That's the one thing. If you watch this channel, and there's only 6 people that do at the moment, I understand that. But one thing we have to do as a community is we have to get after Obsidian, and the squeaky wheel gets the grease, gets the oil. So we have to just completely bitch and moan until they release zip lines early, because them being time gated sucks. It's terrible.
I can promise you there's quite a few people bitching on their Twitter page at them about it.
Yeah, I understand they want to time gate stuff to make it go slower, but there's no reason to time gate zip lines. It's literally just a quality of life and a fun thing. Like I would literally, this sounds bad, I'm sorry, I would literally ride the zip lines just because if you had like long zip lines, they were fun to ride. It was cool to do. And I had a whole series of them and just ride around on zip lines because it was fun, and building new zip lines is fun. So, and it didn't help me beat the game. Like, you can only carry what you carry. It's not like I could go cut grass down someplace and zip line someplace else. You can't do it while you're carrying items and stuff. So you can do it with what you have on, like what you have in your backpack, but you can't carry other stuff. It didn't really help you beat the game in any real way. It time gating that. I bitched about it before, and I'll continue to bitch about it until I get my zip lines, damn it. Pete wants a zip line. Alright, so we're going to have to go through here and complete all these. I'm just going to start here. Just start here and work your way around doing each one. Ready? Incoming workway. What do we got? Where are we at? We should have got our ants out for this, but most of this stuff is all stabbing damage, so just use your mosquito sword and shield. Kind of just zerged that and took a lot of damage, but alright. So we got to go shut down some work areas. One thing I do like is you don't have to sleep in this game. So if we just want to stay up all night and continue doing stuff, we can without any negative effects, which I think is really cool because it helps, especially like I said, with us doing content for the channel, because we can do this during the day and go and farm like stuff during the day, and then at night we can stay up, craft all the stuff like we did last night, crafted all the weapons, got ourselves ready to go. We both have acorn armor, which is why my health is crazy high. And as you saw in that last fight, when I didn't block at all, and took like a massive amount of damage. Had I had my normal amount of damage, I would have been close to, or normal amount of health, I would have been close to dead. But because I have the Super Muppet build, which doesn't have much effect on higher levels, I still take a lot of damage, but...
Do you just see a water drop just floating in midair?
Yes, there's a piece of grass that is missing. And I saw that earlier, and I was like, looking at it. Alrighty, everybody, we're going to go ahead and call that an episode. Progress the storyline along. Next episode, we'll do the same. Keep progressing the storyline. Stay tuned for more Grounded 2.
Thank you all for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed. Remember to like and subscribe.